is probably also a big one for all of us if we're honest. And no one wants to talk about it, but I think people-pleasing right now is a big thing. As an enemy or a silent enemy or unseen enemy. And what I mean by that is because we're desperate and we want to lead God's people well, we certainly want to keep them connected. So we're doing our best to reach out to them and please them and keep them happy, perhaps keep them connected, that we're overplaying who we are. And the downside is if we overplay that and we work so hard at that, when we come out of this, we're not going to be able to keep doing that. I'm not saying don't connect with our people, but what I am saying is don't spoon feed them and overfeed them and overconnect.
That's good.
Because we're trying to keep them going, that when we come out of this, they're going to expect that of us when they should be getting that from God.
Right.
And we should be pointing them to God. And I've watched, we've made this stay-home church so comfortable, and I understand it because it's a season. But if we make it so comfortable, good luck getting people coming back. When one day church is open for business again, and we don't want to, we'll just watch online, And so I'm not saying make it difficult, but don't overemphasize the now season and try and please people and keep them connected and check in on them daily and feed them daily. And the guys are putting stuff up every minute of every day to try and keep them engaged. And we're spoon-feeding people who don't need to be spoon-fed.
Right.
We should be pointing them to God, staying connected, getting them to reach out to us when they need. But I think it's, no one would say it, but I think it's becoming a people-pleasing culture in this lockdown, which is an unseen enemy that at the end of the day, when we get back to reality and back to the mandate, we're going to lose people anyway. So my thing is this: build not away from people, but pull towards God and not be available for everyone's needs all the time.
Right.
I hope you're hearing what I'm saying, you pastors and leaders. Of course we must connect and reach out to our people. But I think people-pleasing has become kind of the way to keep our people, that we're so worried about losing it. I understand that. But it's a subtle thing because you can't live up to that. And I think Jesus Christ is omnipotent and omniscient and all the things people want us to be. So just point them to Him,
Well, it does tie into fear.
It does.
If I've got to put a certain product out there.
Right.
Otherwise, I will lose them when things return to a new normal.
And we need to do our best.
Yeah.
But we also don't look what everyone else does, so we should outdo them. Then it's a competition. It's not.
Agreed.
The thing I keep saying, Mark, is what we win people with is what we win people to. And so even these people getting saved online, which is so cool to hear, but be careful, it's not some kind of fake show that's not a real thing, because what you're winning them with is what you're winning them to. And we want to win them with the gospel of the kingdom, around the king, rather than a great slick presentation and this is what you're part of. So I think that's, again, thinking long term. And I love what A.W. Tozer said this. He said the church that cannot worship must be entertained. And that's probably what's happening now. If we haven't taught people, or we're not focusing on worship, true, authentic, then we're entertaining the church through this social media stuff. And to me, it's people-pleasing. And when we get back to true worship, we're going to lose people if we haven't got them. We're not trying to entertain people in the season. We're trying to get them battle ready and worshiping God and strong in themselves and strong in Him and going to Him for themselves, so we can function in what God has,
That's a great point.
I also think, Mark, if we're not seeking the glory of God as leaders, then we're depending on the affirmation of people. And that's something of people pleasing. Affirm me for what we're doing, rather than I'm seeking the glory of God. What is it that God wants? You know? We've often said that leadership is not to keep people happy. It's to keep people moving, which makes people unhappy. So actually, we're not trying to make people unhappy. We just want to stick to the plan God's called us. So I think